Are you ready for upgrade? Oh, taste and see, there's a word for you and me.
Serving the uncompromising truth makes us truly free.
Open your heart, your mind, your soul, he'll make you whole.
Preaching with power.
It's the relevant leadership strategist.
Good afternoon, everybody. It is, what day is it? Oh, Wednesday. It's pray my strength in the Lord. All right. So it's Wednesday, July the 15th, and we are excited to have another opportunity to have high school shelter in place and spirituality coming live before you right now. Again, these young ladies have been doing such an amazing job with being able to articulate themselves. Two of our, two of them, I think they're at work. They may be able to pop in. We'll see. If not, then Z and D or DZ, or however you want to call it, they've been holding it down. And so it's been Bishop and two of his angels. And Lord knows they've been doing exactly what I know they could do. Bright and brilliant young people. So here's what I need you to do. Do me a favor. Go ahead and share this on your social media platform, and then tag a high school kid and maybe even their parents, because it will benefit both of them if they are tagged, and they'll get a chance to listen real time to a discussion that we're going to have together. And we got a litany of questions today. Last week, man, it was so good. Parents just don't understand. We're probably going to dip a little bit back into that, but then we're going to go a little further with today's lesson. We'll speak to a few of you. Thank you for joining us. Bishop O, thank you for always being here. We appreciate you and your support. Lady Span, we thank you for being there. Dex, how are you, sir? Shanada, we appreciate you. Here's what I need you to do right there. Share and tag. Share and tag. What? Share and tag. What? Share and tag. Yeah, it's kind of hard to make sure that you're in the right spot with this camera thing. Share and tag. Share and tag. I believe that somebody will be blessed today. I promise you, you don't want your children to miss this episode. Our kids have been prepping themselves with just a few of those thoughts and questions that we've had up to this point. But I'm also getting ready to throw a boomerang at them, and they didn't even realize it. So I'm going to ask them something that I didn't prepare them for. I just want to see if they're able to handle real-time conversation. I think they're sharp enough to handle it. Now they may have to think for a second, but they're smart enough to handle it. All right. I thank you all for sharing. Kiana, I thank you for sharing. Zion, who's one of our panelists, I thank you for sharing the video. The rest of you, go ahead and share it right now. Tag somebody right now. Those kids are not doing anything but Fortnite or something along the lines of that. Go ahead and put their name in this so that they can notice that they've been tagged in some video, because it's going to benefit them. While you're doing that work, let me quickly go ahead and invite you to the I Occupy conference, August the 5th through the 8th. Look at that. Save the date. I Occupy. Let me move all the way out the way. I Occupy Conference and Convocation 2020, August the 5th through the 8th. Save the date. Is going to be incredibly big. I promise you that. Our theme is disruption. Our theme is disruption. And my God, listen here. I believe that it's going to be an amazing opportunity and moment. We've already been disrupted. And by the way, I've said this a couple of different times. It's worth saying it again, that the theme disruption was chosen October of last year. So we had no clue what 2020 was bringing, the disruption that 2020 was going to bring. All I knew was the Lord said, name this year's theme for the I Occupy conference, disruption. Yeah, or disruptors. You'll see. And in order to get God's mind, just go ahead and join us. I promise you it'll be a blessing to you. But you don't have to take my word for it. Check out one of our guests as they invite you.
God bless you, beloved. This is Bishop L. Spencer Smith, inviting you to join me with my dear friend and brother, Bishop R. Christopher Brown, and the Kingdom Fellowship of Ministries for I Occupy Holy Convocation and Conference 2020. This year's theme is Disruption, and it will take place August 5th through the 8th right there in the beautiful city of Florence, South Carolina at the Staybridge Hotel and Suites. You don't want to miss it. Mark your calendars now. Save the date. You want to be in the house for Disruption.
I concur. You want to be in the house for the I Occupy Conference and Convocation 2020 Disruption. Now, our conference this year is a bit of a hybrid. It's all virtual with an option of in-person during the evening services. Let me say that again. It's all virtual with the option of being in person during the evening service. Everything through the day and our noon services will all be virtual. Everything in the evening will all be virtual, and the option to join us physically. Go to www.mykfm.org and go ahead and either enroll or register. It's totally free, so you can enroll, but you have to do one or the other. You have to enroll or you have to register. In order to get the links that you need to get your classes sent. Now watch this. When you enroll or register, preferably you'll register, we want you to help us undergird this conference to get the word out, and we'll get things to you. So once you enroll or register, you'll get a chance to select the classes that you want, select the classes that you'd like. And when the conference begins, we'll send those links to you. It'll be Zoom. So we'll send those links to you that you can enter into the classroom virtually when it's happening. But you have to enroll or register in order to get those links. Now, when you register, it's two different levels, $25, $75. A $25 registration gets you a swag bag and one MP3 of your choice. The $75 registration gets you the swag bag and all of the MP3s of your choice. And so, yeah, I think the benefit is probably the $75. And if you don't want to do 25 or 75, just enroll. There is no fee for you to join us during the actual conference. Preferably, though, you'll give an offering in Jesus' name. Okay, let's get busy. Let's go to work. And so we have our two young ladies today that will be our panelists. And as I stated, some of our group, they're high schoolers and they're working. I mean, they're out making it happen. Not that these two are not working and not making it happen. They're putting in applications as well. And Lord knows if they could start going to work, I don't know who I'm going to have for my panel. So I might be praying that they don't work. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. We'll see. We'll see. But we got them now. So while we got them, let's utilize it. Did you share this video yet? I'm trying to figure out why you hadn't shared it yet. Because you should have shared it. Did you tag somebody yet? I'm trying to figure out why you didn't tag anybody. Because you should have tagged somebody by now because you want to be a blessing. Here we go. So first up is Destiny. Destiny is our resident lawyer. So she's a bit of a freedom fighter as well, but she'll introduce herself and tell you a little bit about herself. Destiny.
Hi, how are you?
Doing very good. How about you?
Good. My name is Destiny. I'm a rising senior at the Governor's School for Science and Math. I play basketball and I'm in the NAACP. And I actually do have a job, but I don't work today. So
Awesome. Yeah, you tell them you can't work on Wednesday. What's today? You can't work on Wednesday at 12 noon because you got an obligation. So see, I told you she's like our resident high school freedom fighter. Look at her shirt. Her shirt says it all. So just in Jesus' name, I love it. All right, next up is our resident cheerleader and healthcare worker. And she's a bit of a freedom fighter herself. I didn't realize how much of a freedom fighter she was until all of this upheaval came into play with the death of Brother George. And so let's bring her forth, Miss Zion.
Hey, can y'all see me?
No, you look dark. you look a little dark. You look a little dark.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
You can hear? You can see me too?
We can.
Okay, cool. Okay. Okay, hi everybody. My name is Zion Brown. I'm a rising junior at Marlboro County High School. I'm a cheerleader. I'm part of the National High School Honor Society, and I'm going to pick up my application from Chick-fil-A today. So, yeah.
Whatever. But so Destiny, I appreciate that. Destiny organized her work schedule around this. She loves y'all that much. We love you that much, girl. So you're gonna make me send a seed. We're gonna have to send you a seed for the time that you're gonna be with us today. All right. So let's not waste any time. I wanna first and foremost pause and see if there are any questions that you guys may have for me from last week or any of the conversations that we may have had up to this point, or maybe there's something that someone sent you or asked you. And you're like, you know what? I don't know. I'll bring it to the table. So, do you guys have any questions for me?
Okay, I have a question, or from somebody else.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to say her name, but she was wondering how important is it to save yourself from marriage? Because, like, I'm guessing she's saying because, our age, we're kind of fast, or especially this kind of generation, we're kind of fast. So she was just wondering how it was.
Your generation kind of fast. Okay.
Yeah.
Bless y'all.
Yeah.
Bless y'all. Don't be talking for her. Whoever sent you that question, like, don't be talking for me. I ain't fat. Well, at any rate.
I'm just saying.
I get it. I get it. So, how important is it to save yourself from marriage? It is of the utmost importance that you save yourself from marriage. We had this conversation on the college COVID and Christianity platform yesterday, and so she may not have been watching then. So hopefully you're watching now, and let me tell you that it's of the utmost importance. One of the things, a couple of things, coming to mind when you begin to look at yourself as a gift, right? You are a gift in and of yourself. That gift given is to go to someone who is worthy of who you are and what you are. Now, if you take time to begin to realize self or come to a self realization of your gift and your purity. See, people can take everything from you and all kinds of things. One of the gifts that you offer unto your spouse is a purified vessel. A pure vessel, a virgin vessel. That's male and female. And so it's not just of the utmost importance for females to be virgins. It's also of the utmost importance for males to be virgin. Usually, when we're talking from this standpoint, it's female driven, but not in totality of males as well as females. Because here's the analogy that I gave, without getting too super biblical and using scripture and all. That once with cars, okay? So once a car is driven, once someone buys a car and drives it, then that car begins to depreciate. And if that car has too many drivers, well, usually you can trade it in, but that car goes to something called a buy here, pay here place, right? So anybody with any kind of credit, with no money, with no ability to sustain the car, can go on that car lot and purchase that car because there's too many miles and they've had too many drivers. Every time you give yourself over to someone without the renewing power of covenant, marriage has a renewing power. That ring has power, okay? It renews your mileage. It keeps you sustained and fresh. That if you end up having sex outside of the covenant of marriage, you depreciate within the freshness of your status. Okay, so you become a used car. I hate to make it sound like that, but that's exactly what it is. And so that means everybody gets in, everybody tries it out to make sure that to see whether or not they want to buy that. Whereas there are those other cars and other car lots that don't advertise. They don't put anything out there about who they are, what they are. Those who want them know where to go find them. And when they go find them, they're prepared to pay the price in order to keep them. They're prepared to pay the price in order to keep. I'm laughing at your mom. Bless your heart in Jesus' name. All right. Well, amen. Thank you for renewing mind. Oh, my. All right. I'm back. I've come back. And they're ready to pay the price in order to keep them. Okay. And so, and so you're talking your Maybachs, you're talking those high end cars, which won't have the dummies coming to buy them. Like someone who can't afford that won't go there. So let me kind of turn the curve a little bit and say, if you don't have a whole lot of buyers coming your way, be okay with that, because it only means that you are of an expensive brand that the normal person can't handle. Again, and that's talking about self-worth. Once I know my worth and what I am worth, then you just can't tickle my fancy with a small fry and a Big Mac. I mean, I can buy a small fry and Big Mac for myself. You can't just tickle my fancy with, sweet nothings in my ear. Girl, you look good. Well, my parents tell me I look good. My family tell me I look good. My friends that I hang with, they say I look good. So see, those small deposits that mean they're not spending anything on you. You won't pay it any attention. And so that doesn't mean that you're strange. It just means that you're valuable. And so when folks say you're odd, you don't have a boyfriend, girlfriend yet, forget that. You're not strange. You're just valuable. And those to whom are around you haven't noticed the value yet. But the one who notices the value is willing to pay the price in order to wait for you for marriage. So see, the price now is wait time, WAIT. I'm waiting for you because you're valuable enough for me to do that. And I'm preserving myself for you because I'm valuable enough to do that. And once we are of age and able to sustain what it costs in order to be in covenant, then we'll be able to do that. Other than that, every time I have sex with someone, I lessen the value of what I am. Now, let me say, God is a redeemer. He's a redeemer. So he knows how to restore. So I won't say that God will never restore you, but I will say that every time you do it, you are engaging in imprints in your psyche. I feel like I might be talking more college than high school, but oh well. You're imprinting on yourself someone else's personality that stays with you forever until you filter your spirit and filter your heart. So you don't want all that messing around in your mind and all crazy over someone and don't even understand why you're so crazy over them. And it's because spiritually you made a connection. Sex is not just a physical act, it's also a spiritual act. And you don't want no dummies running around in your spirit because you wanted to have sex to please your flesh. All right. So your flesh might be pleased, but your spirit gonna be jacked up because it was a dummy. They can't even add. I mean, come on now. They don't even take honors courses. They don't have not one college course to their name. And you get ready to exchange a spirit with them, it's gonna dumb you down. No, don't do that. It's kind of funny, but I mean, I said what I said. So hopefully that helped her and let her know that, or whoever it is, let them know that if they want a deeper, more concise answer, they can talk to me through you and or talk to me directly and I'll help them even more. But to preserve yourself should be valuable. I think virginity should be celebrated. I mean, I really do. I think it should be celebrated more than it's been celebrated up to this point. At this point, virginity is like, oh, you a virgin? Oh, girl? Oh, man, no, that's dumb. Oh, no. Virginity is not something to be ashamed of. Virginity is something to be proud of because it means you're still sealed. And everything that's still sealed keeps its freshness and its value. Everything that's been open, well, without the covenant of marriage, begins to stale and sour. And nobody wants to buy stale bread. I don't want to buy bread with mold on it because somebody already opened up the seal. No, I need to keep that thing fresh because after I open it, it has to be refrigerated. And if I don't have any money to put it in the refrigerator, then I bet not open it. Think I answered that question pretty good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. All right. Yeah, and it's hard for you guys. You all's world is different from our world. What what we had to work to go see, you all could do it at a click. And the world is over sexualized. And so everything is about sex. I mean, I'm thinking about, some of the cute things that you guys do with well, for instance, right now with you, with the lipstick on. Well, what do you call it? Is that lipstick? What do you call that thing? Who?
Lip gloss.
Lip gloss. Well, whatever. So with that lip gloss thing, well, see, they even sexualize that. So they put enough on it, and then they put too much on. Look like they kissed the Vaseline jar, and and then they take pictures with the lips poked out like duck lips, and then they poke their little chest out. I mean, why you got to do all that to sell lip gloss? If lip gloss is just to kind of highlight your lips, why you got to poke them out? If the job of the lip gloss is to highlight your lips and hydrate your lips, why are you poking them out like you want something? So see, everything is over sexualized. And I'm gonna pause for a minute and ask you all, do you think that your world is kind of over sexualized? And if so, what examples do you have? That wasn't the boomerang that I was going to throw, but since you asked the question, we might as well throw that one.
I do, because okay, let me give an example. So I remember one day I asked my dad, I forgot what I asked him. And this is about whenever you said our world is different from y'all. So it was just I forgot what I asked, but it was something like I overheard, and I shouldn't have heard it anyway, but I overheard it anyway. So I asked my dad about it because I just wanted to know. He was like, that's not what a child should be worrying about. So I was like, okay. And so I think that following week I saw it on TV. And so I was like, Dad, you remember that? He was like, TV? I was like, yeah. And then he was just my dad. And so and then it's like on apps, like it's on TikTok, like you know how it'll be like Disney movies and they'll be like, well, you didn't see the hidden message in this or the hidden message in this. So I'm just like, y'all don't just watch the movie. Y'all really got to pay attention to details like that, because I ain't see that myself, and I watch Disney movies faithfully, and I never seen that. So it was just, I don't know. I don't understand it, to be honest.
I was gonna go along similar lines with especially in the media, and then just like you said, marketing certain products. It's like that's what draws people's attention, I guess, or I guess most people. And so that's what they use to get their attention first and then sell the product afterwards. And so that's why I think their reasoning behind it, not that I agree with it, but that's what I think the reasoning is for why, because that automatically grabs your attention.
Yeah. So you all are going to be ruling the world very soon. Should we utilize sexual connotations to sell products?
No. I think there's a lot of other ways to sell products. You can always appeal to humor, or there's so many different other emotions that you can appeal to that I guess with over sexualizing things, it's linked to, I just took neuroscience. So it's linked to serotonin and dopamine and all these receptors in your brain that kind of, gives you pleasure. But there's so many other emotions and things that you can do to boost those serotonin levels and to, draw attention to your product.
Yeah, like what high schooler talks about serotonin and dopamine? I'm telling you, you need to get your high school kids on these lives because these girls drop knowledge. Go ahead, Zion. You were going to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say I agree with Destiny. That was good.
Yeah, I agree as well. So then that literally means they're using your your emotions. They're using that sexuality in order to sell a product that might not even be good. I mean, it may not be good at all, but because you've allowed your serotonin and dopamine to override your reasoning, you go buy something thinking that it's going to make you look like that person that sold it. Now, I mean, I don't want to make it too funny, but there's some folk who go buy some things just because they saw it in the magazine and it don't look the same as it looked on the person in the magazine. All right. Just because it fits the mannequin doesn't mean it fits the man. Mankind, that man or that woman. Just because the mannequin got it on, don't mean that you should have it on. Just and then people, real life flesh people can be mannequins as well, because they can take a picture and Photoshop that thing to make it look like those curves are like that. They can Photoshop the thing and make it look like their chest can whatever. I can't say the kind of stuff with y'all too. I got to do that with my millennials and college people. Y'all too. I don't even want to talk about this topic, but it is what it is. And so then you end up getting caught up in Photoshop and never become satisfied. And so you're always running after this image that you can never be, because they've appealed to mechanisms, biology, the release of these things that blinds you to the reality. You ain't 24, 36, 24, or whatever those sizes are. You ain't, you ain't that tall. Your legs are not that long. No, your butt don't look like that. So don't even try it in order to sell. Okay, so that was your question. Any other questions out there? Let's hurry up and get off that.
It's not my question now. It ain't mine.
No. I get it. It's okay. But it's all right to have that. Oh, I know it ain't your question. That I already know in Jesus' name. But no, the question is good. No question is a bad question, even if you all have them. I mean, I think that's a very valid question. Again, because the whole world sends us in that direction. I see it now more than ever. Now, I didn't know that they were trying to come up with ways to over-sexualize Disney movies. Now that I didn't know. I didn't know that. So you mean like The Princess and the Frog? They try to over-sexualize that?
They ain't mess with no Princess and the Frog now, but they ain't mess with them. But like other movies like Toy Story and Nemo, I think that was the other one I watched. It was Toy Story and Nemo. That was like the overarching ones that they would talk about.
Lord, they mess with Nemo. Why you want to mess with the fish? The fish with the broken wing. I mean, why you mess with the handicapped fish? I don't get that. Okay, all right. We'll leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. All right, let's go to a couple of questions that I got for you. I think this will be a good one. Who are your role models, and why? Who are your role model or models, if there's more than one, and why are they?
I feel like the cliche answer is your parents, because most people, spend a lot of time with their parents and kind of see their work ethic. So, of course, that's two of my main role models. But like, if it could be anybody, I think like a celebrity or whatever, I really like Yara Shahidi. She's an actor, and I just like how she uses her platform to spread awareness on not just Black issues, but just issues in America and the world in general. And so I admire that in her.
Okay, now what does she act in? I mean,
she started off in Blackish, but now she's like in Grownish, because they had her like go kind of like with the Cosby Show in a different world, how Denise went to college. That's kind of what they're doing. So she's like the main character with that.
what you know about a different world, and that ain't your that's not your move. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but absolutely, I get it. All right, Zion.
I would have to say my parents too, because they're some great individuals. But my celebrity role model would have to be Taraji P. Henson, and that's only no, not the
Wait
people
now,
that she act like
wait now.
now. Not the people that
Why you gotta pick Cookie? Cookie?
not the
Come on, Cookie. Really, Cookie? Oh, all right.
oh god.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Not the person she acts like her. Taraji, not Cookie, not the girl from Acrimony, not none of that.
Mm,
Her. Just her. Because like I admire her story. Like she tells her story all the time, like on Instagram lives and stuff like that. I just like how she basically came from nothing, like nothing at all. And it's just kind of amazing how she can, like, she accomplished all of this and then has her own hairline, the hairline scalp thing, and she's just amazing though.
mhm.
So yeah.
So, based upon that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a celebrity. I mean, it could be whoever and whatever. But both of you all chose celebrities. What one thing can you pull and pick from them to apply to your life? Like, what one attribute can you pick or pull from them to apply to your life to work towards maybe something that they've done that you like? I'll give you a for instance. So one of the people that I admired or utilized as a role model was Kobe Bryant, and it was just more or less that ability that he had to lock in his focus in the time of need was something that I've kind of always modeled my life behind. When things get tough, I can get this real locked in Mamba mentality to win, and I like to win anyway. So though that kind of attribute that he had, I almost fashioned how I focus in difficult times to accomplish the win. So something along the lines of that. Yeah.
I think something that can be taken away from Taraji is like no matter what life can do to you, that you can do anything. Like because life throws you lemons don't mean you can don't mean that you have to make lemonade. It just doesn't. Like you can do anything with lemons, to be honest. But that's anyway. But no matter what life brings you, you can do anything. You don't have to dwell in your defeat. You can boss up. In our that's our vocabulary. You can boss up. So yeah.
Got it.
With Yara Shahidi, I think she's very real and transparent, and also just tough and not scared to voice her opinion. Because a lot of celebrities, when they get to a certain platform and have that large audience, it's kind of hard to, like speak out against real issues because they feel like they have a certain image to kind of, I guess, portray. But she's just very transparent and she says what she has to say. And it's, honest, and it's stuff that a lot of her audience can relate to. And so that's what I admire about her, because she's not scared of like what the critics may think, because, there's all eyes on her. It's just her trying to portray, the truth and give her audience the reality of her life and what she sees the world as.
Love it. Love it. So, okay. So let's transition a little bit because we've all kind of used celebrities or professional athletes, of course, parents. You utilize those as well. Thank y'all for throwing your parents in there, by the way. That we appreciate that. I speak for the Benjamins and the Browns. We appreciate that. Let's now kind of translate that to biblical characters because it is spirituality. It's high school shelter place spirituality. Is there a biblical character, in what you've already been exposed to, what you've kind of done in your own personal study and reading that you identify with and why? And I'll give you mine and I'll give you my why just to kind of help you out. Mine would probably be David. All right. Well, I won't say the why then. I'll just say David, and then since both of y'all react, yeah. But see, mine is probably David because I feel like I have that duality that he does, that worship and that warrior. That I could vacillate between those two aspects within my personality pretty easily. So I'm really, really intense as a warrior, and I'm really, really intense as a worshiper. So David kind of is one of those characters that I can identify with. And I don't mind saying I'm sorry. David didn't either. David didn't either. So at a certain point, he didn't. But what about you two?
I would say that mine is the same one because I mean, and this I'm gonna go ahead and say it, but like I'm gonna work on myself after I say it. But like I can honestly say that I don't pray to God enough, and like I don't worship enough. Like, and then my dad even told me, like, he was just like, I never see you like dance or like stuff like that, and it kind of dawned on me like yeah, I haven't done it in a minute, so it's just like I got to get back to that. And something else is just like I don't really mind apologizing. I don't mind doing anything for other people, even though they wouldn't do the same for me. So I don't mind.
I like Joseph because
Why did
he's
I
just
say that? I just had a feeling that was going to be yours, but go ahead.
First of all, because of like the dreams and stuff, and him being able to like hear through God through his dreams, but also because he went through a lot. This is kind of tying back to what I was saying with Yashahidi, but like he went through a lot and he still came out on top. But also like specifically when his brothers like came back to during like the famine and stuff, he kind of tested them before he just freely went through with helping them out. And I feel like that's something that I would do. Like after you sold me into slavery and you did all these bad things to me and now you're coming back to me, for help, I would feel like, of course I would a forgiving person, but I'd want to know if you're really like, if I can trust you now before I can go through and, start forgiving you. And so I think we're kind of similar in that way.
I was thinking more along the lines of like the control. Like, now listen here, you gonna have to come through me with this. That's kind of where that's where my head went with you. But absolutely, I love both of those, and both of those thoughts are great, and I can see that in each one of you. One of the reasons why we named you Zion was because of the place of praise and the pureness of praise and those kind of things. And so we just thought that was one of the prophetic aspects of your DNA and destiny being here. So absolutely. And I'm almost certain with you, Destiny, you mentioned the dream side and that ability to see the destiny prior to walking in it. I'm almost certain that's exactly what your parents saw as they were thinking along the lines of naming and bringing you into play. So it's amazing that you guys are kind of linking into some of the places that we were in prayer about when we were going to name you. That's so good. Okay. So before we close the day and give you all a chance to have your closing statements, I got to talk to you about and ask you, here's that boomerang, because it was on TV today. And I thought, you know what, let me ask the high school kids how they feel. So our governor is making the statement that we should go back to school. Just everybody go back to school. We're falling behind, go back to school, no matter what the shelter in place thing is, no matter what COVID-19 is doing, no matter, let's go back to school. Now he's saying that to have precautions, I mean, all those things, but he's like, start on time. And a couple of things they're saying is you all are suffering mentally and that you're suffering educationally, that you're falling behind educationally and mentally because you don't get a chance to see your friends, that you're mentally suffering and you're going through emotional turmoil and all. What's your position on that?
Well, my school came out with a statement like a week or two ago saying that we were going to be virtual. And so everyone's kind of confused because, of course, the governor, at that point, he hadn't said anything yet. And so there's a lot of people upset about that. And personally, I'm a little bit upset. The only really plus side is I get to keep my job. But in regards to actual academics, it's not, I don't do well learning online. And it's just causes more stress. And then of course it's your senior year, and my college advisor, we kind of, I guess, have a close relationship or whatever. And I can't, I've been constantly emailing her, but it would have been easier if, we were just at school during this, I guess, season. And so there's just a lot of stresses coming on. And I've emailed the school because one of my, I guess, harder subjects is Spanish. And this foreign language department at our school is very fast paced. And I asked if I could take it through a slower paced program because, it's just Spanish. And that's not something I'm going to pursue in college. And they said no. And so it's just so many stresses. And I'm trying not to talk too bad about it, but I try to be more optimistic. But it's just kind of hard because I don't learn well virtually. I like to have, in person, that immediate help. And so it's just a little bit harder.
So you're leaning more towards in person.
Yes, just because of how I learn better. Overall, I guess virtual would be better since I can keep my job. I can maybe get an internship in this area because they don't let you do that at school. But academically, if I was my main focus was my grades, and doing well, then it would be better to be in person.
Okay.
I would have to go off of what Destiny said. I don't really learn that well on, virtual. I mean, I do take online college classes, but that's I kind of take my notes and I learn from that. But actual school where I know I can go to that person and I ask for help from them, yeah, I just need that one-on-one, and this is what you do without a delay. I just need to go ahead and get it. I just want, like Destiny said, I want that immediate help. But I'm not going through mental problems, mental things. I can just FaceTime my friends. I don't really, and my grades aren't suffering, so I'm fine.
Okay. Destiny, what about that part for you? That mental suffering because you're unable to see your friends thing that they were saying today?
I don't think because I can't see my friends, but I guess now South Carolina is kind of handling the whole COVID thing differently. And so since we're allowed to go out, of course not in huge groups, I guess, but as long as I can go out, just for necessities or just to the gym or something, I'm fine. But because of specifically friends, no, I don't think that's a issue.
Yeah. So my thoughts with it is safety. Is I think the major issue. I too probably learn better in the environment, in person. I can do the virtual, but the in-person thing probably works better for me. I'm very easily distracted, very easily. I'll go into different little realms and areas, chasing rabbits down rabbit holes. Always been kind of like that. So, but I learn by hearing and touching. So I got to hear it and touch it. That kind of thing in order to kind of get it. I got to kind of get in it and do it myself. So all of those things I get, but I think safety is probably where we should look first before we talk about the academia side of it and work our way through the academia while we have you all safe within the confines of home. And so gathering every single day with other students from different households and that kind of thing, that might get a bit, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how safe that may be. And I mean, I know that there are people who are gathering in churches and those kind of things. I get that, but it's, it's the same families, the same groups kind of coming together, and they're not there the whole day. you're talking an hour, hour and a half, juxtaposed to 6, 7 hours with a group of people. Plus, again, it spans larger. And those teachers, every teacher that comes into play, they ain't as young as y'all. So some of them have pre-existing issues that may be triggered from that point. So I don't know how safely that is. And again, they tried to angle it when I was listening today more toward mental health, so that I guess having mental versus physical health, weighing those things out. And from what you both said, you're not like mentally suffering. You're not going to go commit suicide because you can't see your girl, right? Thank God. Yeah. So that part, I don't know. I don't really know the angle as to why they're driving it that way and moving as quickly as they are. I applaud the governor's school for saying you would just do online up until. I applaud them for that. For everyone else, we'll just kind of see how it goes. But I wanted to get you all's thought on it when I heard the governor speaking today, as it relates to how you feel. I mean, because you're the ones that this is affecting, not us. And if you're good with it, then maybe we need to ask the kids and see what they think and how they feel about it, not just us. All right. So as we do every week, you get an opportunity to have that last say. We didn't get to but 2 questions. And I sent y'all a whole heap of them. So keep those fresh, because we might get to all of them next week. We may not get to any of them if we end up getting another question coming in. If you have a question, inbox these young ladies, and they'll ask me, and we'll answer it live and do the best we can with it. I appreciate whoever that was that sent Zion the question. Thank you for that. You probably just helped a whole lot of other high school kids who are struggling with that, and your question gave them an answer. So thank you for being an answer for someone. We appreciate you for sending in that question. All right. So can't remember who went first last week. So I'll just let you all volunteer, because I can't remember. I can't keep up with all that. And then I'll come back and close.
I can go. Okay, so today, we talked about role models and stuff. And so I think, as a high schooler, it's important to have those role models, even if it doesn't have to be your parents, but just someone that you can look up to. Because when you get in, those dark times, or, now with talking about mental health and stuff because of COVID, maybe you have to stay home and not see your friends as often, but just finding, someone whose traits you can look up to, who's beat the barriers, beat everything that's coming against them. And so you can kind of admire that and use that in your own life to just get through those times where it's hard and you don't know, what your next step's going to be. But, if it worked out for them, it can work out for you, and it can work out for anybody. Just, having those traits and admiring them and using them, with yourself. Like, I can be fearless, giving yourself those self affirmations that can help you keep pushing during this time.
I would say that just stay true to yourself and always know your worth. Never throw yourself away for somebody else or something that you want to do. Always know that you're worth the hype, you're worth everything. So never deteriorate yourself or anything like that. And something else is never wallow in your defeats. Like, always take your defeats as a lesson. Don't always, oh well, this happened this time, so I don't want to do it. Like, no, you learned a lesson from that last defeat. So make sure that lesson is applied to the next time you try to do it again. So always try again.
I concur with many of the other people who watch us live and replay that you all always do a wonderful job. And we absolutely love you. Bishop O says she loves both of you all. Know that I appreciate and love you as well. Thank you, Destiny, for rearranging your job schedules to continue to be a part of our panel. I think what you both bring to the table is invaluable. And I see your parents in you, as well as your own personalities. So I don't want you to think that you just end up being clones of your parents. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Never diss or dismiss inheritance, because an inheritance gives you a leg up where others who dismiss it have to do all the work from the beginning themselves. You have a wonderful ceiling to begin your basement and building. So I see your parents in you, and I also see your own personality kind of shining through and shining up. So keep that track, keep walking those paths, and man, listen, the sky will be the limit for what will be you all's destiny. No pun intended. All right, so this is R. Christopher Brown III, relevant leadership strategist, senior pastor of the Sword of Truth Outreach in Bennettsville, South Carolina, as well as www. The World Wide Web. We are also the presiding prelate of Kingdom Fellowship of Ministries, the president and CEO of R.C. Brown Enterprises. What can this Brown do for you? And on behalf of these two young ladies and our other two panelists who's at work, we want to say thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you join us next Wednesday at 12 noon. Until then, it's 2020, and I'm telling you, as I prophesy, that it's still going to be big. God bless.